You know what time it is, my brothers and sisters. The Supreme One is back in the sanctuary of the fire of truth. Let's go! We are back from double lockdown, double channel lockdown, and it's time to blaze up the fire of truth as always and as usual with the Supreme Intelligence. You know what time it is. Introductions. Let's go, man.
Check it, listen, coming through, fire bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimals, mathematical root radicals. So we see this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, the fire of truth.
Just levitate, levitate, keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Set these lies.
Alright, my brothers and sisters, it's been a few weeks. I've been gone for 2 weeks. Not really gone. Technically, YouTube has obviously stopped me from uploading videos. You already know the situation already. They want to stop the truth speakers. They want to stop the real information from getting out. That's the reason why they put my channels to a halt. They didn't just put this channel to a halt, they put my secondary channel on halt as well. So you have to keep that in mind as well. That's why you haven't heard from me in a few weeks. But anyways, we're going to be blazing up the fire of truth today, as always and as usual. So listen to reason and listen to wisdom, my brothers and sisters. We're going to be coming up with a powerful series on silent weapons for quiet wars. My brothers and sisters, this information you're about to hear is talking about social engineering, social programming, social manipulation, economic control and dominance, and how the world is controlled. And most things in this world is set up to control the masses. This information you're about to hear is key foundational pieces of truth that you must compile within your neural pathways. Absorb what is useful. Discard, cut, and throw what is not. And make that valuable and useful thing uniquely your own. Listen to reason. And listen to wisdom, my brothers and sisters. Listen to reason. Rays from the sun. And listen to wisdom. So this is going to be an ongoing series, Live Blaze, breaking this thing down of what's truly going on in this whole world, in this whole planet. Shakespeare said, the world is a stage, and everybody in it is an actor. A lot of things in this world is scripted and set up. You have to keep that in mind. And this is the genesis, the beginning of this whole breakdown that I'm going to be doing today regarding silent weapons for quiet wars. One of my viewers and followers, Turbo Scuba, sent me this document. I think it was about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago. I was skimming through it, and I thought that this information was very interesting, that I should be sharing this information and break this down. When I was reviewing this information, just give me one moment. Let me check. One moment. One second. One moment. I'll be right back. One moment. I'll just get the door and see what this is. One moment. Just give me one moment, my brothers and sisters. I'll be right back. Alright, my brothers and sisters, apologize for that. Now we're going to be continuing. Like I was saying, I got this document sent to me by one of my viewers, Turbo Scuba. It's a powerful document showing the social engineering, programming, and manipulation that is going on in the world to control the masses. So essentially, I'm going to be bringing this information forward on this channel to let you know what's going on, to give you the knowledge, so you can make a positive change and control your own world, your own reality. Imagine a world that you want to live in. Don't let others manipulate you. What do I always teach you? Mind over matters makes you the master. When your mind is subjected to the matters, that leads to your disaster. The solution is, united we stand stronger, together we rise higher. So we got to come together to imagine a world that we all want to live in. And stop letting the evil agendas from the shadow powers, the hidden hand and the shadow government come into fruition. Although a lot of these things have come into fruition already, and it's already happening in front of our eyes, in front of our face. But most of us, most of the people don't even realize what's going on. And we're going to be breaking it down. So let's continue now. So listen up to the information, because we're about to beat on the demons of the lies and deceptions. So listen up.
Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons on a daily basis, glowing radiance, raising the consciousness to the most high status, lumen lyrical brightness, supreme natural intelligence. There's no coincidence that I'm rocking, feeding knowledge to the masses. Vets and youth always speak the fire of truth, wisdom. Life is about growth and development, so build your light for the tests in life. Never give up, never let up. That's what's up. You know what time it is, so push forward, elevate your mind in the sun and rise.
All right, my brothers and sisters. Let us continue and get right to the bullseye point of today's teaching. Silent weapons for quiet wars. So let's start off with this little sentence here. As you can see, conspiracy theories are nothing new to history. Plots to kill Caesar and overthrow Rome abounded, for instance. However, it is seldom that concrete clues to such plots come to light and are generally known. So my brothers and sisters, you've heard many conspiracy theories. you've heard a bunch of talk from many people. And some of those conspiracy theories, yes, they have been lies and deceptions. While at the same time, if you had a sound mind, you would see that, on the other hand, a great deal of these conspiracy theories have come into reality and have become conspiracy realities. So a great chunk of the conspiracy theories that you've heard over the years, a large chunk of that information has become conspiracy realities. So some conspiracy theories have become conspiracy realities. You got to be able to decipher the information that you are viewing and taking in. That's the key here. Develop discernment. Absorb what is useful. Discard, cut, and throw what is not. And make that valuable and useful thing uniquely your own. We're going to be going with information that is going to be showing you the psychological manipulation, the psychological sorcery at all levels when it comes to controlling the masses, the mind of the masses. Because whoever controls the mind of the masses is the ruler of the world. Did you hear me? Whoever controls the minds of the masses rules the world. And what does a ruler do? A ruler puts everything in alignment, in organization, for a specific purpose. This is what the hidden hand, the shadow powers, and the shadow government are doing. Listen to reason and listen to wisdom. And as I mentioned, this document reminds me of a powerful book called Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. That basically goes over all the hidden information and manipulation that the government and the shadow powers don't want you to know. That was in the 90s. I think that book was released in the early 90s. And I remember reading that book decades ago. And this is where a lot of my information, a lot of my ideas contrive from this. Books like these. And over the years, as things were unfolding, you come to see, like I said, these conspiracy theories have become conspiracy realities. You see this at all levels. You see it through the entertainment, the television, the news media, sports, movies, all various forms of entertainment in life. You're being controlled and manipulated. And this document is going to show you that. So let's get right into it. Is everything being heard crystal clearly? The people that are in the chat, is everything being heard crystal clearly? What's going on here, man? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay. Jay Strong, what's poppin'? Welcome to the Fire Truth Sanctuary. Alright, let's get to the matter here. So we're gonna start with the security. It is patently impossible to discuss social engineering or the automation of society. The engineering of social automation systems, which is the silent weapons, on a national or worldwide scale without implying the existence of objectives of the social control and destruction of human life, example, slavery, genocide, etc. This manual is in itself an analog declaration of intent. Such a writing must be secured from public scrutiny. Otherwise, it might be recognized as a technical form or declaration of domestic war. Furthermore, whenever any person or group of persons in a position of great power and without full knowledge and consent of the public uses such knowledge and methodologies for economic conquest, it must be understood that a state of domestic warfare exists between said person or group of persons and the public. The solution of today's problems requires an approach which is ruthlessly candid, with no agonizing over religious or moral or cultural values. You have qualified for this project because of your ability to look at human society with cold objectivity, and yet analyze and discuss your observations and conclusions with others of similar intellectual capacity, without the loss of discretion or humility. Such virtues are exercised in your own best interests. Do not deviate from them. So like I said, you have to exercise discernment. Discernment, my brothers and sisters. Use intellectual discernment. Absorb what is useful. The key to mastering information, my brothers and sisters, is to absorb what is useful. Discard, cut, and throw what is not, and make that valuable and useful thing uniquely your own. Use it, apply it in live dynamical radical action. I've repeated this phrase several times from Bruce Lee, because that is what you have to do when you're studying information and listening to information. Take in what is useful to you. Make it work for you. Make it valuable for you. Make it manifest so you could progress in life, because life is about growth and development. You're listening to the fire of truth, so listen. Historical introduction. Silent weapon technology has evolved from operation research, or a strategic and tactical methodology developed under the military management in England during World War II. The original purpose of the operations research was to study the strategic and tactical problems of air and land defense with objective of effective use of limited military resources against foreign enemies. And you know this channel is called Supreme Natural Intelligence. What is intelligence? Intelligence is gathering information and using that information to your advantage. That's what intelligence is. You gather information and you use that information for your advantage, to see the strengths and the weaknesses in an operation. That's what the military does. And it's only fitting that we're starting with the military, because what they'd always say, before we do anything, we got to gather intelligence. In other words, we have to gather information, knowledge about the enemy or the opposition or the potential threat. It's all about gathering intelligence. Intelligence is about using information smartly in a strategic and tactical way. And it's only fitting that this channel is called Supreme Natural Intelligence. This channel is all about exposing the lies and deceptions in today's popular beliefs with the scorching, blazing truth that will awaken your mind in the Lumen consciousness. Lumen consciousness is referring to the light. Light is synonymous with knowledge and wisdom. So you must receive the light. See the light. Receive the light. And shine the light. Listen to reason. Rays from the sun, and listen to wisdom. So, the original purpose of operations research was to study the strategic and tactical problems of air and land defense with the objective of effective use of limited military resources against foreign enemies. Example, logistics. It was soon recognized by those in positions of power that the same methods might be useful for totally controlling a society. So here's the highlight. I've already mentioned that this whole series that we're about to go into is showing you that everything in society is set up to control you for the most part. This matrix is made to control you by using what? Tricks. Matrix, made up tricks. That's how I break it down. That means you're in a world of tricks. Matrix. They use psychological sorcery, psychological manipulation, words of art, the art of misdirection, the art of distraction, and the art of deception. Deception is mixing lies with truth, or mixing truth with lies. How do they attract you? They use words of art, poetry in motion, clever wordplay to attract you, to allure you, to draw you in, give you some truth, and then they propagandize your mind with deception or lies. So if you don't have the intellectual facilities and faculties to discern the information you're being told, you're going to be fooled all the time. You're going to be controlled. Because like I said before, the ruler, the one who controls the mind, controls the world. The one who controls the mind of the masses controls the world. So if you control the vision of the masses, you can manifest your agenda, your reality. What do you think this says here? United we stand stronger. Together we rise higher. Why do you think I always talk about the collective consciousness? The unified field of the divine. Because if you want things to change in society, you need unity. Unity makes things happen immediately. The greater your unity, the greater your unified mind, the greater your collective consciousness. And a collective consciousness makes the rules. Did you hear me? The collective consciousness or the unified field makes the rules in this holographic world, matrix. That's why the shadow powers, the hidden hand, and the shadow government use every strategic tactical methodology in their power to control the masses and keep them divided accordingly. And then they unite them accordingly as long as it pertains to their agenda and how they want you to act and live. Divide and conquer. And amongst the conquering, that's when they bring unity in your ignorance. They bring you into unity when it comes to ignorance. They divide and conquer your intelligence, and then they bring unity with ignorance. Listen to reason and listen to wisdom. So let's hear. Here's a grand slammer right here. The colossal home run here. It was soon recognized by those in positions of power that the same methods might be useful for totally controlling a society. But better tools were necessary. Social engineering, the analysis of automation of a society. So they want you, this automation is referring to your subconscious mind. They don't want you to think consciously on everything they do. They want you to act like a slave, a robot. When you're given orders, they just want you to say yes sir and you go do it, or yes ma'am and you go do it. They don't want you thinking and questioning. They just want you to what? They want to automatize you. That's what it's all about. They want to automatize you. Social engineering, the analysis of automation of society, requires the correlation of great amounts of constantly changing economic information, data. So a high-speed computerized data processing system was necessary, which could race ahead of society and predict when society would arrive for capitalization. You got a computer in your hand all day. It's monitoring your activity all day, every day. Your habits, what your interests are, and it's predicting what you're interested in, right? It's predicting everything you do. It's getting to know you. This artificial intelligence infrastructure is starting to be fully set up and becoming more intelligent, sophisticated, and it's gathering data through all the social media platforms you use, every web search you make, every website you go to, it's collecting data on you. So it knows who you are at all levels. So it knows what to sell you, what you're interested in, what entertainment you like, and it's going to promote all those things to you. They use artificial intelligence algorithms to give you what you want. To keep you, what, misdirected, distracted, deceived. So you take your eyes off of yourself and look at something outside yourself. And that's the key to make psychological sorcery work. They take the attention off yourself, off your own vision, and they give you a vision. They take your eyes off your own vision and they give you their vision. That's why they use art of misdirection, distraction, and deception, words of art. And the way they improve their strategical tactics is they're collecting information upon you. Everything you do is being recorded and monitored. And then everything is being fed back to you accordingly. So a high-speed computerized data processing system was necessary, which could race ahead of time, race ahead of the society, and predict when society would arrive for capitalization. Relay computers were too slow, but the electronic computer, invented in 1946 by J. Presper Eckhart and John W. Mauchly, filled the bill. The next breakthrough was the development of simplex method of linear programming in 1947 by the mathematician George B. Danzig. Then in 1948, the transistor, invented by J. Bardeen, W. H. Brattain, and W. Shockley, promised great expansion of the computer field by reducing space and power requirements. With these three inventions under their direction, those in positions of power strongly suspected that it was possible for them to control the whole world with the push of a button. Did you hear that? Remember, it said earlier, they want to automatize the masses, the world. They do it through social programming. What do you think this does? All day. Everybody's eyes are glued to the phone all day. Glued to the computer screen all day. Glued to the television all day. And you wonder why you act the way you do and think the way you do. Because you're being programmed. With these three inventions under their direction, those in positions of power strongly suspected that it was possible for them to control the whole world with the push of a button. So you're starting to see the ignition that is happening here through the invention of the computers. Computers are made to manipulate and control you. Immediately, the Rockefeller Foundation got in the ground floor by making a 4-year grant to Harvard College, funding the Harvard Economic Research Project for the study of the structure of American economy. 1 year later, in 1949, the United States Air Force joined in. In 1952, this is the history, Like I said, I'm gonna make these as short as possible. I don't want to be on here more than an hour, because we're gonna do this in several parts, breaking this whole thing down. This is just the backdrop, the history of how this is coming, giving you a synopsis of everything here. In 1952, the grant period terminated, and a high-level meeting of the elite was held to determine the next phase of social operations research. You have to do your own research. Look it for yourself. Look into this yourself. The Harvard project had been very fruitful, as in born out of the publication of some of its results in 1953, suggesting the feasibility of economic, social, engineering, program and manipulation. So you're seeing, this is when they begin the mass control, the mass manipulation. Studies in the structure of the American economy. Copyright 1953 by Wassily Leontieff, International Science Press Inc., White Plains, New York. Engineered in the last half of the decade of the 1940s, and a new quiet war machine stood, so to speak, in sparkling gold-plated hardware on the showroom floor by 1954. With the creation of the Maser in 1954, the promise of unlocking unlimited sources of fusion atomic energy from the heavy hydrogen in seawater, and the consequent availability of unlimited social power was possibility only decades away. The combination was irresistible. So, the Quiet War was quietly declared by the international elite. Listen, at a meeting held in 1954. Although the silent weapons system was nearly exposed 13 years ago, the evolution of the new weapon system has never suffered any major setbacks. This volume marks 25th anniversary of the beginning of the Quiet War. So this document is 25 or more years old, because it was discovered 25 years ago and somebody decided to put this out. So keep in mind, this is actually 25 years ago. It's around that age, that or more. And then it was exposed 13 years later. Political introduction. So you heard the historical introduction, now you're hearing the political introduction. The poly tricks, many tricks, right? Politics, many tricks. Poly tricks, many tricks. Matrix, made up tricks. Are you catching on now? In 1954, it was well recognized by those in positions of authority that it was only a matter of time, only a few decades before the general public would be able to grasp and upset the cradle of power. If you notice this word upset, and you reverse the words, set up, that's exactly what's been happening to you. You've been set up. They set you up to get upset. When you get upset, that means they set you up. Like I already told you, whoever controls your emotions, controls your mind, controls you. So if someone makes you upset, they're the puppet master over you. If someone controls your emotions, they're the puppet master over you. A measure of a person's true strength is how well they can control their mind and their emotions. So if you get upset at someone, that means you got set up. You're the puppet being controlled by the puppet master. So every time you see upset, see it as set up. So if you get upset and angry, you got set up. If you let someone else get you upset and angry, you got set up to act a fool. Because what happens when you get angry? You make rash decisions, rash actions. Reckless behavior is bred by anger. It's a double-edged sword. Anger could give you great power, but it also causes great sabotage as well. Self-destruction. So don't think that you have control of yourself when you're angry, because majority of the time you don't have control of yourself, because every time you get angry you tend to make bad decisions and make bad actions majority of the time. Even though when you get angry you're full of energy, full of vitality, that you want to destroy things, but they're using your power against you. The double-edged sword effect. Because there's very few people on this planet who's able to control the anger and use it for their positive progression. Very few people can do that. And they use that anger against you. When they make you upset, they set you up to make mistakes and errors. So I'm going to remind you here, in 1954, it was well recognized by those in positions of authority that it was only a matter of time, only a few decades before the general public would be able to grasp and upset the cradle of power for the very elements of the new silent weapon technology. Since we're continuing on breaking down these terminologies the way I see it, when you look at technology, technology comes from nature. It's an extension of nature. It's a projection of nature in an artificial form. Remember that artificial simply means to physically manipulate nature into another shape. Art is what? Art. You know what art is, right? Artificial is dealing with the physical. So you're manipulating nature's elements, resources, materials into something new. Allegedly new. So that's what artificial is. So don't see artificial as a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. Remember that tools can be used for good and evil. A knife is not evil. A knife is not good. It's only a tool used to help to break things down. So don't see knives, guns, various different things are not evil. They're not evil. It's the user that makes it evil or good. It's how you use the tool which is going to determine the outcome, right? It's how you use the tool what's going to determine the outcome. As you can see, these shadow powers, the hidden hand, the shadow government is using these tools to manipulate you. And this is only introduction right now. They're telling you, silent weapons, a silent war is upon you. We're at war. And a battle is being waged upon your mind. You may not see physical war, but the most dangerous war is actually the mental war that you don't know about. The most powerful war is within your mind. The most dangerous war is within your mind. Physical war is dangerous as well, but the most dangerous one is within yourself. Like, what did they tell you? What does the ancient wisdom tell you? The greatest enemy is within you. You are your greatest rival. I am the greatest rival. I am my greatest rival. Conquer thyself. Change begins with thyself first before the outside world can change. Mastering yourself is the key to mastering the world outside of you. That's why saying mind over matters makes you the master. Because if you're a master over the matters, you control this reality. If your mind is subjected to the matters, you're a slave, a subject, a citizen of this reality. You're the effect, not the cause. When you're a master of your mind, controlling the matters, you are the cause. When you are a subject, you are the effect. Are you catching on? That's the law of cause and effect, Hermetic principle. One of the laws of the universe. For every cause, there's an effect. For every effect, there's a cause. The hidden hand, the shadow powers, the shadow government are the causers. The masses of people are the effect. The causers are controlling the effect. So let's continue. So as I said before, technology is taking knowledge from God or taking knowledge from nature. Technology is only an extension of nature. Extension of the organic technologies contained within nature. In fact, the computer system, you just heard the history in the computer system. Computers are a projection of the human technology. The organic technology of the human body. That's where computers are made from. That's the influence, the inspiration in which computers are made from. It's a copy of the human body. Cars are a copy of a human body. The organic technology was here first. All humans are doing is reshaping, remolding the organic technologies contained in the human body and in nature, and reshaping it into a different form, into artificial form. Artificial simply means to shape and mold the physical art in nature into something new. Synthetic is combining elements together, resources, materials together. Synthetic is combining. So let's continue here. Synthesize. Synthetic, synthesize, combination, artificial, molding and shaping, and combining into something new. Technology, taking knowledge from God. God is simply the original source, root power. That's what God is, in its true source definition. It simply means power, mighty one, source, root. So let me repeat this again, and let's move on to the energy part. Because energy is very important. Most important thing in this life is energy. If you can't control your own energy, what did I just mention before? Emotions. What is emotions? Energy in motion. Your energy in motion. If you can't control your own energy in motion, and as you can see, the next topic, we're going into energy. In this document, I always talk about energy. Master yourself, master your energy. In 1954, it was well recognized by those in positions of authority that it was only a matter of time, only a few decades before the general public would be able to grasp and upset the cradle of power, for the very elements of the new silent weapon technology were as accessible for a public utopia as they were for providing a private utopia for themselves, of course, mainly. The issue of the primary concern, that of dominance, revolved around the subject of energy science. You hear that? Energy sciences. So energy. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. So if they control your energy, they control the world. The mind is the highest level of energy. If they can control your mind, they control you. In other words, if they control your energy, they control you. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. Natural science is the study of the sources and control of natural energy. Shit. Are you listening? Master your energy. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. Natural science is the study of the sources or the roots. What do I always tell you? Get your behind back to nature. Get back to the source, the roots. Master thyself. Natural science is the study of the sources and control of natural energy. And social science, theoretically expressed as economics, is the study of the sources and control of social energy. Both are bookkeeping systems, mathematics. We know that nature is supreme mathematics. Sacred geometry, supreme mathematics. How energy moves in shapes. So when they use these signs and symbols, they use those signs and symbols to control you. The way you think, the way you move. Because that's sacred geometry. So when you say, oh, that's a devil sign, this is that, all these people talking about that stuff. Those are all in nature. If you are a scientist and you study nature and you observe nature, you're going to see all these symbols contained in nature. You're going to see it in the snowflakes. You're going to see it in the plants. You're going to see it in the shapes of all of nature's life. You're just destroyed for lack of knowledge. Oh, that's the devil. That shape is the devil. That 5-pointed star is devil. Oh, that's all that stuff you said. Oh, that's witchcraft. You don't understand. And they want you to be scared and want you to be ignorant, because they're using sacred geometry to beat you up. That's why they're in the position they're in, and that's why you're in the position you're in, because you don't understand sacred geometry, which is supreme mathematics. Sacred geometry is dealing with how the omnipresent energy, radical energy, unified energy comes out of that unified formation of the blackness and takes form and shape in a separate organization in this holographic projection that we're living in. When the unlimited, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient energy comes out of blackness to take shape, a specific shape that you could see and comprehend, it comes into that shape for a specific purpose, a specific reason, a specific function, and it plays a role in life. It makes up the fabric of life itself. You don't even realize you are the 5-pointed star. Arm, leg, leg, arm, leg, leg, arm, head. Arm, leg, leg, arm, leg, leg, arm, head. 5-pointed star. Oh, that's demonic. Destroyed for lack of knowledge. And this is why you're being beat up. This is the energy science they use. In other words, this energy science that they're talking about, this mathematics that they're talking about, is sacred geometry. And you know what's funny about it? What does devil mean? When you go to the Hebrew, it means deception. So they're using supreme mathematics and sacred geometry, and then they're superimposing it with stories and with ancient information, ancient stuff, and pretty much putting it in the side of evil or bad, so you don't look into it. Because as soon as you start looking into that information and mastering that information, knowing the science of that information, that's when you begin to control your world. The more they keep you scared from looking into the symbols and signs and sacred geometry and mathematics, the more information they use to keep you away from that, the weaker you will become. You're subject to the matters. Because those signs and symbols are all throughout nature. They make up the fabric of this reality. And the reason why life exists the way life exists and functions the way it is right now is because of sacred geometry. It makes the fabric of this reality. Shapes play an important role in life. Colors play an important role in life. And remember, we're going to be talking about the importance of melanin. I was going to do that before I got locked down, but you got to know that shapes are very important. Color is very important because makes the fabric of reality. So let's continue. Jay Strong, much love and much respect to you as well. Love, my brother. Dropping them jewels, my guy. 100% real talk. Facts. Truth blazing. Facts blazing. Facts being manufactured in a factory. For your blast, for your bun. Let's go. Joe Galo, what's poppin'? Joe Galo. Stop talking about things that have nothing to do with today's topic. Focus on the information at hand. That stuff is irrelevant right now. Focus on this first. You got to know how your mind is being controlled. Joe Galo. Or in other words, your energy. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity or animation. Remember that you're condensed light. Light is the life. Life is light. Light is information. Light is knowledge. Light is intelligence. You are manifest light in physical form. You are powered by light. You're powered by electricity, magnetism, sound. That makes up the fabric of this reality. And these shadow powers, the shadow government, the hidden hand, use light to manipulate you. They use artificial lights through technology to manipulate you. They use electricity, magnetism to manipulate you. Because your body's composed of these things. It's powered by these things. So they're going to manipulate your energy by manipulating your photo-hydroelectromagnetic aura. How do they manipulate you? Wide field technology. Wi-Fi, wireless waves, lights. You're looking at the television, right? All that flashing light to attract and draw you in, that's controlling you. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. Natural science is the study of the sources and control of natural energy, and social science, theoretically expressed as economics, is the study of the sources of control of social energy. So now you're starting to see the social engineering taking place. Both are bookkeeping systems. Mathematics, in other words, sacred geometry, signs and symbols. Therefore, mathematics is the primary energy science. And the bookkeeper can be king if the public can be kept ignorant. Ooh, shit! Shit! Ooh. Did you hear that? Shit! This is the cloud of my mind right here. Woo. Listen. Therefore, mathematics, in other words, sacred geometry, in other words, signs and symbols, is the primary energy science, and the bookkeeper can be king or God if the public can be kept ignorant of the methodology of the bookkeeping. Whoo, sheesh.
What? Slow motion this side.
Whew. Sheesh. I think you need to hear this again, man. Whew. This is a powerful section here, man. And I think this is where I'm going to end it off before we continue any further. I'm going to end it off here. This is a good spot to end this first part off, because I don't want to go beyond an hour today. I want to keep this as short as possible while keeping it extended while as short as possible as well. Because you don't want to make videos too long or people just get distracted, right? And go look at other things to be stimulated. So I don't want to make the video too long. This is an introduction to what's going on here. And we're going to continue in the next lab blaze from here. But this is powerful, man. This is a good spot to end for now here. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. Natural science is the study of the sources and control of natural energy. I'm just got to get back in my fire of truth flow. I gotta get back in my zone state after being 2 weeks of break. Whew. Powerful. This is a good way to end here, man. Sheesh. Natural science is the study of the sources and control of natural energy, and social science, theoretically expressed as economics, is the study of the sources and control of social energy. Both are bookkeeping systems. Mathematics, in other words, like I told you, sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is dealing with symbols and signs that make up the fabric of this reality, that govern and regulate this reality. Signs and symbols of sacred geometry, in other words, supreme mathematics, which is the regulator of this reality. So the ones who know, who control the signs and symbols, control this reality. The ones who have the mathematics and sacred geometry control this reality, because that's the greatest energy systems in this reality. Therefore, mathematics is the primary energy. See? Primary energy. Primary, not secondary, primary energy that controls all of reality. So if you understand the mathematics of life, or in other words, the sacred geometry in life, or in other words, what? The golden mean in life, the Fibonacci sequence in life, all those things are the foundation of life sciences. If you don't understand these things, you're going to forever remain a slave, a subject under matters at hand. The reason why the shadow powers, the hidden hand, and the shadow government are in power is because they understand these sciences. Therefore, mathematics is the primary energy science, and the bookkeeper can be the king or God if the public can be kept ignorant of the methodology of the bookkeeping. Sheesh. Whew. And that is a fire of truth, my brothers and sisters. Sheesh.
What? Slow motion this side.
Light Sparks was popping. You're late, man. We're at the conclusion for today's lab blaze pretty much, man. You missed out, but it's pretty much an introduction to social engineering, social manipulation, social programming. We're going into the truth of the matter at hand, that this world is a stage. Everything is set up, scripted, for the most part. everything is controlled, everything is set and manipulated, including this pandemic, allegedly called, right? Everything is controlled, everything is set up. Don't think that things just happen coincidentally. Happenstance. There is no such thing as happenstance, coincidence, luck. Doesn't exist. Those things don't exist. There's only cause and effect. Cause and effect. You're either in the zone state, the flow state, or you're out of the zone or the flow state. And that's where you're ignorant. If you're out of the flow, you're out of your zone, you're in ignorance. And that's why you get taken advantage of. The people that are in the flow state, the zone state, control the people who are not in flow, who are out of the zone. Just like it says here, I gotta repeat this one more time because this is very powerful here. Very powerful. You gotta be taking notes of this here. This is powerful here. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity, animation on Earth. And what is the energy they're talking about here? I'm gonna add on and break it down so you understand what energy that we're talking about. We're talking about light. We're talking about electricity. We're talking about magnetism. We're talking about sound. All these forms of energy control your life. You got a television, right? Television gives you a bunch of what? Light waves. And it has speakers. Sound waves. And how is that powered? Electricity and magnetism. Light. All of those forces are the primal elements that make up everything in life. It makes up the fabric of life. Remember what I taught you before in the 777, the 777 principles of the universe. When it comes to the elements that make up the universe and control and regulate the universe, it's what? Magnetism, feminine aspect predominantly. Electricity, masculine aspect predominantly. Light / sound. Ether / plasma. Gases, liquids, solids. The other 7 principles, the universal law principles of the universe is mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, generation, or gender. These things control reality. I discussed this many times on my channel. The higher moral principles of this reality, the primal 7 higher moral principles of this reality is what? Which they don't want you to live by. They don't want the shadow powers, shadow government, hidden hand, don't want you to live by these things. Because it's going to make you the ruler. Truth, justice, balance, order, harmony, reciprocity, propriety. 7 primal principles. What the shadow powers do is they change the polarity of the magnetism and they get you to follow your lower nature, your 7 deadly sins primarily. The 7 primary sins they want you to follow and live by, which is what? Sloth, which means laziness. Lust, porn, get you to waste your energy. Light Sparks always mentions in my chat. Preserve your seed. So, laziness is a major plague that is upon humanity. Technology makes people lazy. That's why you shouldn't abuse technology, because it'll make you lazy. And you start to lose your own sense of ability when you rely on technology too much. So sloth is laziness. Lust is a major bind to majority of people on this planet. Lust. Greed, gluttony, wrath, envy, pride. 7 primal sins that humanity is bound by. There's obviously more that humanity is bound by, but those are the 7 primary ones. Just like the 7 moral principles are the primary ones that embody the branches of other principles that create secondary ones, right? So anyways, that is the fire of truth, and nothing but the whole, living, unified truth, my brothers and sisters. You see this? The cloud of my mind, the intelligence of my mind is above. Learn from the images, the signs and the symbols, and the knowledge and wisdom in the words above. Learn from here and learn from the information. Because this is all used to reverse the flow of the dumbing down energies that the shadow powers, the hidden hand, the shadow government has been using to keep you ignorant. Ignoring the facts. When you break down ignorant, you're ignoring the little ants below you. And what does the little ants represent? Architecture, mathematics, sacred geometry, unity. When you ignore the ants, ignorance, you're ignoring the ants or ignoring the facts, you're subject to the matters at hand. You're not a master of the matters. You're subject to the matters at hand. Why do you think I have all these elements in here? To wake you up. Power picture presentation above me here. United we stand stronger. Together we rise higher. You know what time it is. 3 things that cannot be long hidden. The sun, the moon, and the truth. Synonymous. There is no separation. If you're observing, if you are observing that sun, observing the moon at nighttime, you are getting closer to the truth, because you're receiving the supreme intelligence of the daylight and the nighttime intelligence, and that's going to lead you to the truth. Be your own scientist. Be an observer of nature to get to the truth. This is what this is telling you. Stop relying on books. Stop relying on other people's information. Look into nature yourself to get the truth. So you better be looking at the sun, the moon, so you could have the truth revealed to you. Because when you look at that sun, it gives you what? Reason. Real sun. Rays from the sun. And we know that light is knowledge, intelligence. So if you want to get reason, ray sun, you must be looking at the sun. Just as the moon too at nighttime. The moon reflects the sunlight. So you're getting the nighttime light. So you better be getting information at night, get it during the day, so you can get the truth. So awaken your mind and get your behind back to the organic internet mainframe of Almighty Nature, which is the collective consciousness, the unified field of the divine, the great vine derived from the vine in which you get your true information, knowledge, wisdom, and intelligence from. Listen to reason and listen to wisdom. Rewind this back and listen closely. I know this was a little slow at the start, but I got to get warmed back up. I've been gone for 2 weeks. A week. 2 weeks a week. 2 weeks on this channel, a week on my other channel. Was just unlocked last week. So check out the Fire of Truth, s.n.i, my secondary channel. Subscribe, share, like the videos, because we're about to what? You're going to be receiving the hidden truth. It's time to come out of your lies and deceptions. Which one are you going to swallow? Sacred geometry here. See that? Sacred geometry. This is the key here. Understanding that. Exactly. Light sparks. I see. It's a fake world. Yep. Shakespeare said the world is a stage. And it's filled with actors following scripts, lines. A lot of things in this world is set up to manipulate and control you. That's where I'm going to end off for now. So, like I said, watch the video from the start. This is only introduction. And we're only going to get deeper into this. Anyways, brothers and sisters, enjoy the rest of your night. Share, like the video. The solution is this. United we stand stronger. Together we rise higher. It's all about mastering yourself. See that? This is the key. Mind over matters makes you the master. When your mind is subjected to the matters, it leads to your disaster. See the anger? When someone angers you, they set you up. When you get upset, you got set up. If you get upset, you got set up. That's why you got to simplify things in life. Simplicity is the key to brilliance, and that's what I'm bringing forward here. Supreme intelligence is made simple. I want you to use your reason. Process right knowledge. Claim your power back. Anyways, brothers and sisters, holistic true peace, true power, and true elevation. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Check it, listen, coming through for your bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimal of mathematical root radicals. So we see this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, the fire of truth.
Just levitate, levitate. Keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Shed these lies.
Balance is key, foundation you see, harmony we see, nature we free, spirit we agree, preach and teach, the flock we reach, peace we feast, Ecclesiastics 3, Barak Shalom hour, inner peace power, reason in season, there's meaning in beacon and wisdom we season, peace to the most high, the most high, 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 peace to the most high, the most high.